Hey folks, I'm Chris and I'm your Commander Mechanic. A quick reminder that November is coming. Every day in November you'll be getting a deck list from me and a micro deck tech from me every day. All proceeds raised by the channel will be going to Extra Life, benefiting sick kids' children's hospitals. The links in the description are for more details, and to donate. Recently, I was a guest on stream with my friends in the Scrap Trawlers. They're a budget-minded channel based on $50 decks with certain challenges and restrictions in mind. My challenge in particular was to build a $50 deck around a commander printed before modern Magic, 1999 or older, and I took this opportunity to build a commander I've always wanted to, Vhati Il-Dal. This Golgari commander is a 4-mana 3/3 human warrior that has a tap ability to reduce target creature's power or toughness to 1, and that's base power or toughness. This is something I've always wanted to build around. Using this ability offensively or defensively gives you amazing flexibility and utility, making it really easy to turn your commander into an avatar of woe. Tap to reduce a creature's toughness to 1 and deal a damage to it or give it -1/-1 and nothing can stand in your way. And that's the theme I went with for the deck, shrinking. Making everything smaller so I can pick and choose what lives and dies. I crammed the deck with effects like Knight of Souls Betrayal, Ascendant Evencar, and Dark Blast to ensure nothing survived that I didn't want to survive. That made me think what this deck would be. Because of the budget restrictions, I couldn't include some of my favorite cards like Revel in Riches, and even most of the good Aristocrats effects, like Blood Artist, are out of budget range. But I could include Poison Tip Archer, Sangromancer, and Morbid Opportunist to ensure I was getting as much value as possible out of every one of my opponent's creatures dying. If I couldn't do full-on Aristocrats, maybe I could do a cheap imitation of it. Another key part of the deck is dealing damage to all creatures. This way I can make a creature's toughness 1, and then put a damage on it and destroy anything I want. Pestilence is perfect for this. You can deal damage every turn and even bomb mana into it to take out opponents at low life totals. Just don't get too low yourself. Kumbaj Witches, Thrashing Wumpus, and Plague Spitter are all along the same lines. Sure, they're going to do some damage to you and some damage to your creatures, but you're going to be able to control what sticks on the battlefield and what goes. This way, no matter what your opponents are doing, you can handle threats and even control the pace of play diplomatically. I'll let you keep that creature as long as it doesn't attack me. And what about the instances where they do attack you? Well, we have something like Caltrops to deal 1 damage to attacking creatures. Prevents you from being overrun with tokens that you don't want to destroy with Vhati, and ensures that you have an insurance policy if someone decides they are altering the deal. Of course, there's also plenty of ways to destroy creatures without Vhati in play. Remember to always have a contingency for when your commander can't be in play. In this case, we have efficient targeted removal like Ravenous Chupacabra, Tragic Slip, and Putrefy. Regardless of how our board looks, we'll have ways to dictate what our opponent's boards look like. We've also packed lots of ways to get untargetable creatures too via edict effects, effects that make players choose and sacrifice creatures. Deadly Brew is a new one, for instance, but we also have every flavor of Fleshbag Marauder in the deck. They are my favorites, and they fit the theme and budget, so I found an excuse to put all 4 of them in. Lastly, since our commander taps, I put a small sub-theme of tapping into the deck. I mentioned the Witches earlier, but there's also Seeker of Skybreak to help us double up on our tap effects. I included Secret Tech in Endbringer as well, which taps to deal damage and untaps itself on each upkeep. And the super secret spicy tech of Quest for Renewal. This is Seedborn Muse we have at home, and is an awesome way to turn all your tappers, commander included, into a machine gun to take out creatures every turn. Once it's online, it's amazing, even if it just untaps 1 or 2 creatures. Highly recommend picking up a copy. Finally, for the upgrade. I mentioned it earlier, but classic Aristocrat pieces would be stellar in the deck and function as a more reliable win con than Pestilence or Thrashing Wumpus or Plague Spitter. I'd love to be able to fit a Blood Artist and a Falconwrath Noble and a Sir Conrad in the deck, but the curve and the budget restrictions caused me to struggle to keep them. After the work the Poison Tip Archer did in the games that I played with the deck, I think the Aristocrats win con is the way to go. On that note, if I'm building this without budget restriction, the new Meat Hook Massacre is perfect for the deck. It's a selective shrinking board wipe, which we want, and can gain us life as opponents' creatures die while pinging down opponents when we play creatures. I think I'd also update the ramp package to focus more on 2 mana value ramp. While I could fit Rampant Growth, I couldn't afford 3 Visits or Nature's Lore, which would help us ensure a turn 3 Vhati in the majority of games, increasing our clock by a whole turn consistently. If you want to check out my budget brew, the deck list is in the description below. I may keep this around and play it a bit more, but it does need to improve its win cons in order to avoid grindy, unfun board stalls. Let me know what you think about this build in the comments below, and as always, good luck and have fun.